Okay, here we are again, and in this lesson, a video clip, we're going to discuss the various graphic elements which build up a GraphicIO system. So we're going to jump to the main page one, and as of right now, all GraphicIO data acquisition systems consist of 5 graphic elements. One being a strip chart graphic element, another being a edit box, and notice it says EB. That stands for edit box, and if this edit box has an editable value assigned to it, which this one does, the edit box will have a blue background which indicates to the operator this is a value that can be edited. Now, edit boxes can also be assigned to non-editable values, in which case it's not blue and the operator can't change this value. Even though it's an edit box, this value can't be changed. We'll go into changing these values here in a few minutes. But besides edit boxes and strip charts, we have push buttons and toggle buttons. I'm going to travel over here to another page which has a PB, stands for push button. And a push button is something that when you click it, it activates temporarily and then unclicks. It only works as you're pushing it down. As an example, right now, this is a push button. If I click it, it actually tells the remote pump truck to go to neutral. I just clicked it and let go to perform the operation. And here's another push button which tells the remote truck to reset its kick out. So I'm going to press it temporarily, and it reset the unit back to being functional. So that is a push button. You just press it to operate. And a toggle button, on the other hand, here's an example of a toggle button, says TB on it, and it is a latched switch. So when I click it, it latches to the other value. And the other value in this case was that the oil temperature kickout is disabled. And it stays that way until I click it and it goes to the opposite value. So toggle buttons are permanent switches and push buttons are temporary switches. And then we have display boxes. Here's a display box. And this display box displays values. It's never an editable value. It's an editable value, but if it's set as a display box, you can't edit it. So display boxes can be hooked to multiple things, but when it is a display, you can only view the data that's been assigned to this display box. If it's an edit box, again, however, such as this edit box that has an editable value assigned to it, the box will have a blue background, and blue always indicates it's something the operator can change. And let's go into specifics on how you do edit a value here. Some values, if they are a certain value, you can actually increment this value up and down simply by pressing on the plus button, which will increment it by a certain number, or you can hit the negative button, which will make the value go down by a small amount. So those are increment and decrement buttons assigned to an edit box that has an editable value assigned to it. Now, usually that's just for fine-tuning the increment value. If we need to make a large change, we find anything blue and you click on it. And when you do, it pops up a box which describes where may be multiple items that's editable about this. as an example, that particular editable value, we can actually set a dampener for the value so that it will slowly increment up to the desired value, slowly decrement down to the desired value. But the value we're interested in is the final dampened value right here. Here's the 5,000 here. Here it is replicated. And as in the past, I've said anything as a pencil button means it's edit. So I'm going to click this pencil button right next to the 5,000 value that we want to change. And when I do it, it pops up a numeric keypad. This numeric keypad, you can use your mouse to put in a value, such as 4,000, or you can use your keypad on your laptop or PC to do the same thing. Now, if that's an acceptable value, great, hit accept. And notice the value here changed to 4,000. So we can also do 4250, and oh, that's a mistake. So we can use the backup key and make it 75 instead. So this backup key allows you to edit it with your mouse if you wish, if you're not using a keyboard. So we'll make it 2500, hit accept, and it will go to the 4250 that we set. There's one other little trick on any time you have an edit box. When you open up the keypad, you can change the size of the keypad, and it will remember the size that you like. So you can choose a size that you wish to operate from. And next time, we'll just move it up to a large size. We're going to close this, and we'll come back to that edit. And voila, the keypad is the size you like. So we'll change this back down. Most of the time, you'll have a small keypad, relatively small keypad, if you're using the keypad. If you are on an operating unit, we're using a touchscreen, you might increase the size of this keypad so that it's easier to enter a numeric value. So we'll put that back to 5,000, hit accept, and close. Now, let me back up and show you something. Let's go to 5,000, and notice it's change of value again. We'll make it 4,900 and accept it. And the instant you make a change to a value, it comes up and says save changes to the configuration file. And when you press this, it makes that a permanent change to that value. So the next time you boot up the software, that value will be what you entered. If you just want to make a temporary change to a value that's just good for the job, then don't hit save change. The instant you made this change, it'll be functional for the entire length of the job. But the next time you boot it up, it will come up with the value that was in its configuration file. So again, you press this if you want that to be a permanent value. Most of the time, operational values such as kickout pressure is something you change during the job and every job, so you never save it to a configuration file. However, something like the kickout pressure band is something that you only change once every 10 or 15 jobs, or if ever, after you've set it the first time. So this value you would change and then hit save configuration file. So the next time you boot it up, it's using that value. So we'll close that. So in summary, we have strip charts and we have toggle buttons, which when you click, latch the value to whatever you decide to toggle it to. We have push buttons, which only operate as you push them, and then they go right back to its previous value. You have display boxes, which show value, which only display values. Even if it's an editable value, if it's assigned to a display box, you can't edit it. And then we have edit boxes where you change the value there. A pressure kickout is one that you guys would change throughout the job. So that's a very good example of a value which will be changed during a job. Now, please note that, let me jump back to the main operate page. This is a remote PC hooked into a control PC, the cementing control unit, and thus it doesn't have a lot of editable values. If this was the control unit, most of these values would be blue and be editable in some way. So that is a summary on the 5 different graphic display elements which consist of and make up a Gray Wolf I/O data acquisition system. All right, I'll see you next time.